Okay, so here we go today. So what we want to do is this. We want to look at all the different types of graphs. Okay, so first of all, real quick, let's look at these 6 graphs. Well, when I look at these 6 graphs, there's a couple that I know right off the bat. Can you guys look at these, and does any of these graphs, can you tell me, look at these words, okay, are any of these going to match up? What do you think?
Linear.
Okay, good, linear. I totally agree. Let's go linear right here. Okay, so I agree. A is linear with positive slope. Completely agree. Now, how do you know it's linear? You're right. How do you know it's linear?
Straight.
Good answer. Okay, what else do you see?
D is linear.
D is linear also with a negative slope, right?
Right.
Okay, now, what do you know about any of the rest?
They're all weird.
So they could be exponential,
Could be.
they could be quadratic, or they could be cubic. We're not sure. This one really looks exponential to me,
Yeah, it really does. It sure does.
but we're not sure. So one of the things we could do is we could put it in our calculator. We could do the stat button, right? And we could look for the R. Remember the R? We could put the data in our calculator. We could look for the R value. If the R value is 1, we know we got it. Remember how we did that? If it's not 1, we could try quadratic. If it's not that, we could try cubic, okay? E sure looks like maybe quadratic to me. Looks like quadratic to me, but it could be exponential. Again, we're not sure. Might be quadratic, which is an x squared, right? It might even be a cubic. I'm not sure. It might be cubic. Not sure, which would be an x cubed, right? F could be the same way. I'm not sure. E and F could be one or the other. And the only way we can really tell is if we put it in our stat button, right? Put all the data in, we put it in our stat button, and we can try all the different variations. We can try the R values for quadratic. We can try the R value for exponential. And if we get an R value that's really a good R value, we pick it, right? Now, this one here, B, if it is this approach, it's kind of the opposite of exponential. So B is logarithmic, but we're going to call it the ln of x, because when we do logarithmic on our calculator, let me show you. I want you to see this. So if I go to my calculator and I go to my stat button, okay, check it out, calculate. There is an ln, and we know that ln means natural log, okay? So when we do a log fit, we're going to use natural log for our R fit. So if we do a stat button, if we do stat, we're going to do the ln for a log, okay? All right. So here's the key. If it's straight, it's got to be linear, right? If it's not, we can try the R value. Okay, flip the page to a couple of pages. I want us to go all the way to page, hold on, page 166, okay? Page 166. Okay, now page 166. What do you think it is?
What is?
We'll get to that later. What do you think it is? Ah, my goodness gracious. Okay.
That's linear plus 2.
Do you think it's linear?
Minus 2.
How can we tell?
Because they're all 2 less than their squared.
Let's do the differences. Let's do the differences, okay?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I can do that real quickly. So if I do the differences, I'm going to subtract, okay? Clear, clear, clear. So let's see, 119, subtract 98. I get 21. 98 minus 79, I get 19. 70 minus 62, I get 17. 62 minus 47, I get 15. 47 minus 34, I get 13. Remember how we did the differences before?
Well, I sure do.
So, right at the bat, first of all, it is not linear, because it's my first differences. It is not an x to the 1. It is not, because these numbers are not the same, right? But, if I subtract again, subtract again, subtract again, subtract again, I get 2, 2, 2, 2. It is quadratic for sure.
It's an x squared minus 2, right?
So it is sum x squared. It is y equals sum x squared. Now, how could we get exactly what that x squared is? We could put it in the stat button, right? I won't do that, but remember how we could put these numbers into list 1, list 2, right? And we could get the actual answer on our statin. But to save time, I don't need to do that because you know how, right? So this one's definitely a quadratic. We can go to stat. We can get the answer, correct? How about 2? How about 2? What do you see about these numbers? They are fractions, but do you see anything unique about these numbers?
They all have the 5.
We are multiplying by 3 each time, right? But divided by 5. So it's always going to be over 5, but we're timesing by 3. So it's like 3 to the n divided by 5. That makes this one exponential. Because we'll have 3 to the 1, 3 to the 2, 3 to 3, we'll have 3 to the 0, so forth and so on. This one's definitely exponential.
Can you move that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Katie. So I recognize that what we're doing is 3, 9, 27, 81, 300, 243. It's 3 to some n power. It's exponential, okay? So we say it's exponential when the variable is the exponent. It's exponential when the variable is the exponent, okay? It's not cubic. It's not squared. It's exponential, okay? Now, number 3 is different, and this is the hard stuff. And I'm hoping and praying you're paying attention. I'm going to go slowly through it. And I might even do number 3 on a separate sheet of paper, so I've got lots of room, okay? You ready for number 3? So, to do number 3, they tell us right off the bat it is exponential, okay? So do number 3, they tell it is exponential. So, but they want it in the form of y equals ab to the x power, okay? So, Cooper, put the phone away, please.
I know that 12 times 9 would equal 108. That helps us at all.
No. But here's what I'm going to do, Ben. Every point has an x and y value. You guys agree? So let's put my 12 for the y. Let's put the 1 in for the x. Okay, you guys watching? So I'm going to rewrite this as 12 equals a b to the 1. I put my 1 in for the x, and I put my 12 for the y. You guys good for that? Now, we don't know. That's the hard part. I want to find a and b. But now, anytime I have 2 variables I don't know, I need 2 equations. Say it again. Anytime I have 2 equations, I need 2 variables. Okay, so where's my second equation come from? Here. If I put 3 in for x and 108 for y, I'll get a second equation. So the 108 is the y value, and the 3 is the x value. So I put my 3 in for the x and the 108 for the y. Now, what I want to do is substitute. If I solve for a, watch, solve for a, divide by b, I'll have a equals 12 over b. How does that help? Well, I'm going to substitute 12 over b in for a into the second equation. I'm going to go slowly on this, all right? So what I'm going to do is this. I solve for b, so I could substitute this 12 over b in for a. So then this should write as a 108 equals 12 over b times b cubed. So I only wrote, if a is equal to 12 over b, I wrote that. Now I'm going to do about 3 or 4 of these so you get the hang of these, okay? So can I simplify this? Yes. I got a 108 equals, well, one of these b's will cancel one of these b's. I'll have a 12b squared. Okay? It's a hard day today, but if we practice, my third period class, which oftentimes doesn't do as well as you guys, they got it, but we practice, okay? So now, if you have to solve for b squared, what am I going to do? Divide by 12, right? Divide by 12, divide by 12. Okay, 108 divided by 12 is 9. Equals b squared.
I told you that.
Okay, what's b? Square root, square root. B is 3. So if b is 3, what is a? A is 4, right? Because a is going to be 12 divided by 3. A is 4. Now, we have an equation. What's our equation? Our equation is this. Watch. We know a and b, don't we? We know a and b. So we're going to rewrite this as y equals, let's see, a is 4 times b, which is 3, to the x power. Do not make that 12. Do not make that 12. Because you can't multiply that. because you have to do the exponent first, and you can't do the exponent because of order of operations, right? Just leave it. You're going to leave it like that, okay? Let's do the next one, okay? Can I whisk this away? Let's do the next one. Let's do number 4, okay? So number 4, the exact same process. All of these are going to be done the same thing, okay? So 4, we are going to do this. We need 2 equations. Always, we need 2 equations. So I'm going to plug my -1 in for x. So I've got y equals ab to the x. So here's your steps. Step 1, make 2 equations. Take your -1, put it in for your x. Take your 2, put it in for y, because every point has an x and y. So I'm going to go 2 equals ab to the -1, okay? You need to make 2 equations, all right? I got the first equation made. Second equation is made from the other point. 32 goes in for the y, and the 3 goes in for the x. So I'm going to rewrite this as 32 equals ab to the 3rd power, okay? The 3 goes in for the x, and the 32 goes in for the y, okay? Now, I have 2 equations. I need to substitute. Got to substitute. So let me go over to the first equation. Let me rewrite it real quickly. I do know with negative exponents, I'm going to bring this down. You okay with that? Brought the b down because of the negative exponent. And if I have to solve for a, I'm going to multiply by b. I'm going to times by b. So I've got 2b equals a because I multiplied up the b. I'm just going to solve it. Now, I'm going to substitute. So I'm going to take my 2b and I'm going to put it right there. Put it right there. All right, so let's rewrite this as 32 equals 2b times b cubed. All right? Now, since I just have b in my second equation, I can solve for b. So I'm going to go 32 equals 2b to the 4th. Okay? Cooper, you're putting that phone away. Of course you are. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 16 equals b to the 4th. 4th root. What's the 4th root of 16?
2.
Yes. So if b is 2, then we can find a. What's a? What's a? 2 times 2 is
4.
a. A is 4. Okay, so we need an equation. Let's rewrite this. Our equation then is y equals, I know what a is 4. I know what b is 2 to the x power. Do not multiply those. I'm going to do at least one more so you guys get the hang of this, okay?
Our homework.
It's most of your homework.
Is it our paper homework?
Yes, it's most of your paper homework, okay? All right, let's take a look at number 5, okay? Let's do 5 together, right? Okay, you guys ready for 5? All right, again, we want to make an equation y equals ab to the x power, right?
Miss Baby, can you go back?
Sure. That one. Okay, let's go through the last one, number 5, together slowly, okay? Tell me when you're ready, Ben.
I'm fine.
Okay, you ready? All right, let's take a look at number 5, okay? So, first step, you need 2 equations, okay? 2 equations. We'll plug the 9 in for the y and the 2 in for the x. Second equation, we'll plug the 4 in for x and the 324 for the y. Does that make sense? Because every point has an x and a y. I sure will, Cody. Sorry about that. There we go. So, every point has an x and y. We'll plug the 9 in for the y, the 2 in for the x. So, first equation is going to be 9 equals a b to the 2nd power. Okay, first equation. Plug the 9 in for y, the 2 in for x. Second equation. Plug the 4 in for x, the 324 for y. 324 equals ab to the 4th. How am I doing? Okay, so make 2 equations. Plug the x in, plug the y in. Okay, now, third step. Solve for a. Divide by b squared, divide by b squared. So a is equal to 9 divided by b squared. So, make 2 equations, then solve for a. Okay? Substitute. So take what a is equal to and plug it over into the second equation, okay? Substitute. So instead of writing a, we'll write 9 over b squared, okay? 324
Could you slow down?
equals, yes, I will. Okay? So, I'll repeat myself, Ben, while you're catching, okay? First step, make two equations. Plug in x and plug in y. First step, make two equations, plug in x, plug in y. Second step, solve for a in the first equation. Then substitute. Okay, I'm going to substitute. So instead of writing instead of writing a, I'm going to write 9 over b squared, because that's what a is equal to, times my b to the fourth. Okay, so instead of writing a, I wrote what a was equal to. Simplify. Simplify. Okay, I got a 324 equals, well, two of these b's will cancel two of these b's, so I'll have a 9b squared. You okay with that? Two of these cancel two of these. Divide by 9. I have no idea. 324. Hold on real quickly. Divide by 9. Oh, I get 36. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. 36 equals b squared, right? What does b equal? 6, right? Okay, good. I've got... Now, to get a, substitute again. Take the 6 and plug it in for b, right? So I'm going to have 9 over 6 squared, right? 6 squared, which is 36, which reduces to 1/4, which is a. Okay, now my answer, I know a and I know b, right? So let's rewrite this. I got y equals a is 1/4, b is 6 to the x power. Okay, we got to practice these, all right? And I have these on your homework. I'm going to stop recording.